Hello, Michael Williams here. I hope that you've had a great time, and I hope that you've learned something. I hope that you've been asking yourself the questions that we've been posing to you, 5 questions that you must answer to overcome stuttering. I hope that you've been asking and answering these questions, because I've found over the years and thousands of hours that I've spent with people that these are some of the key questions. So we'll just roll through them really quickly. Do I believe it's possible to overcome stuttering and become an excellent speaker? Do I believe that's even possible? Right? So check that video out. Second one is, am I willing to accept 100% responsibility for my life and my speech, so that you feel empowered and you're doing the things that you can do that are under your control to transform your speech? The third question is, am I willing to set realistic expectations, or do I think it's only going to take a few days or a few months and then I'll be done with this? So watch that video. In this video, we're going to talk about, am I willing to use a systematic approach to transform my speech rather than only tricks, tips, and techniques? So am I willing to use a systematic approach, a scientifically based systematic approach, rather than just using tips or tricks and techniques? Okay. And this is important because if you use a systematic approach, what you're going to get is something that is based on how our brains work, how we learn, how we create new habits. It's something that's based on what we call neuroplasticity. And this is our brain's ability to change, right? It's our brain's ability to change its very structure, and therefore changing the functionality to a degree, right? Which means that if you've been struggling with speaking too fast, or stuttering or stammering, either severe or so mild that no one even knows except for you, right? If you've been struggling with this, the thing that you need to understand is that there are actions that you can take that can change the structure of your brain, that can rewire, retrain your brain, so that you actually can start to speak very, very smoothly, very, very clearly, very calmly, very confidently. You can actually start to speak in a way that people want to listen to you. They love to listen to you. They want to follow you. They want to be influenced and persuaded by you, where you can say what you want, when you want, the way you want, right? Where you feel free, where you actually feel excited to speak, where you want to speak as opposed to avoiding it. So how does this all take place? Well, it takes place when you're using a systematic approach. And Pro90D is one such systematic approach. And we talked about this earlier, but I'm going to review it again here. Pro90D addresses your speech, the science of smooth speech. It addresses your speech in 3 areas, 3 aspects. Number 1, your speaking style. So Pro90D gives you all the tools that you need via audio, video, and a community in which you can now experience, you can practice it, you can get advice, right? We give you everything that you need to transform or change your speaking style. Remember we talked about this? You have the power to create a new way of speaking. So let's say that your way of speaking right now is this fluent. Well, guess what? You have the power and the tools, you got the power tools to be able to replace that with a new way. You can do it. We're watching people do it every day. I've seen people do it. I've done it, right? And even in Spanish, I'm still working. I'm still doing it, okay? So it's possible. Other people have done it outside of my program, so it's possible for you, with a systematic approach, focusing on certain things, to change the way that you speak, to replace the way that you speak. So that's one thing. We give you the tools. We give you the videos. We give you the audios. We give you the PDFs. We give you the techniques, yes. And we also use something called modeling, observational learning. And we also provide you with a community in which you can practice to change your style of speaking, to replace it. What else do? We also help you focus on your mindset, your way of thinking. So if you are constantly worried about your speech, or you're beating yourself up about your speech, oh, I got stuck again, and you're just anticipating, you're negatively anticipating, you're worrying, You're anticipating words and letters. You're avoiding stuff. Pro 90D gives you, through the videos and the audios, right, and the affirmations and verbalizations and visualizations and practical experience and coaching, if necessary, we give you all of the tools, all of the mental tools that you need to replace that way of thinking with a more confident way of speaking, where you can go out, you're not thinking about your speech, and if you do think about your speech, you're thinking about it in a way where, wow, how can I say this in a way that has a positive impact, that's offering value to whoever I'm speaking with? How can I connect with this person? How can I speak in a way that's engaging, that's influential, that's impacting this person? How can I speak in a way that's clear? We call that Vic. How can I speak in a way that's clear so that the person understands me? I'm not speaking too fast, I'm not speaking too loud, not speaking too low, I'm articulating, enunciating. How can I speak that way, right? So Pro 90D gives you the tools to help you think that way, and or to just go out and feel free and to be 100% in the moment, where you're not thinking about your speech at all, and you're just saying what you want to say, when you want to say it, the way you want to say it, effortlessly. Does that make sense? We give you the tools to do that. And then the third aspect, right, trifecta, if you will, is your speaking identity. And this is one of the most important things, because you can use techniques and tools to change your speaking style. You can change your mindset. But if your speaking identity doesn't change, then what can happen is when you hit a bump in the road, you hit a block, you get stuck, you have a bad speaking experience, all of a sudden what comes up is your beliefs. Oh, I'm a stutterer. Or I knew I was going to get stuck. I knew this was going to come back. This is who I am. This is how I tend to speak. Okay, so it's very, very important to change that speaking identity. Pro 90D gives you the process, the experience, the videos, the audios, the PDFs, the coaching, the experience to understand what a speaking identity is and how you can transform it. What you need to do to actually change who you believe yourself to be as a speaker. This is very, very important. Okay, so if you're just focused on techniques and tactics, right, on a tactical level, just want to be able to say my name or say these words and letters. I can't say these words and letters. But you don't change your speaking identity, then you're always going to have problems with those words and letters or some different ones. When you change the speaking identity, then all of a sudden the words and letters start to fade away. You stop thinking about your speech. You start seeing yourself as a person who can communicate well, can articulate his or her thoughts whenever they want in any speaking situation. It doesn't mean that you won't feel anxious or nervous sometimes. It doesn't mean you won't have disfluencies. We all have disfluencies. I have disfluencies. Everyone does, right? But your speaking identity says you can handle it. You're still a smooth speaker. You're an excellent speaker. So Pro 90D gives you those tools. It's based on neuroplasticity. It's based on habit formation. It's based on observational learning. It's based on the experience of thousands of people who've come before you. It's based on my own experiences that says this really works. This is the reason why we have so many doctors, engineers, PhDs, and so who go through this program, because they understand that the science is there and that this really does work. It's not easy. It's challenging. It will probably be one of the most challenging things you do, but also one of the most rewarding things that you do. So the amount of time and money that you invest in this, you will be paid dividends. You'll get a return that is incalculable. It's far greater than whatever you invested. And sometimes people see a financial return very, very quickly when they get their first job or they get a promotion as a result of transforming their speech, right? In a relatively short period of time, a few months, right? People go out, sometimes it's been weeks, they go out to get the jobs that they want because they're using a systematic approach. They're not bouncing around, never really getting traction. Right? Okay, I'll use this technique, I'll use this breathing technique, I'll elongate my words, or I'll just say affirmations and I'll visualize, I'll do hypnosis. Not that all those things don't work, but we need a complete, holistic system and process that you can trust, that you can depend on, that's been tested, that's constantly being updated. You want a system like that that addresses every aspect, not just breathing, not just the way you speak, not just the mindset, not just the speaking identity, but everything. All right. So the question is, am I willing to use a systematic approach, or do I just want to use tips and tactics and tricks and techniques? And that's a question that you have to answer for yourself. Now, in this next video, we're going to talk about the one thing that can be the difference between your success or failure. That's what we're going to look at in the next video. So I'll see you there.